Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have been to Ikea and I found a nice desk here called the Segrare, and I decided to make a little video about how to put it all together. It's a brand new desk that Ikea just came out with, so stay tuned. I think you'll really enjoy it. Okay, today's video is going to be on how to put together this new desk that I got at Ikea. And there is no video yet online, so I'm forced to make my own video to help you guys out. But it's a brand new desk that just came into Ikea. It's called a Segrare. I'm not really sure. But anyway, it's a nice desk, and I'm going to take it apart and put it together. All right, this is what it looks like out of the box. Here's the box with the lid off. You can see all the parts here. And we're gonna set it up next here to this wall where we have a whiteboard as well. So that's where it's gonna go. And we're just gonna open up these instructions and follow them step by step. One thing that's nice about Ikea is that these instructions, usually it's just all pictures. So it makes it really easy. You just have to follow each step. Okay, like I just mentioned, it does tell you all the nuts and bolts that are required to put this desk together. And what I like to do is actually take them out of the bag like I have here, and then you can actually count them to make sure everything is there. I've never had a problem with Ikea before with any of their furniture. Always everything is there. So just to double check, but everything that we need according to our instructions is right here. So looks like we can start. All right, according to the instructions, we need to follow the arrows. On the bar here at the top, the arrow goes down, and then the second arrow is pointing towards us. We're going to insert this piece here, and then we're going to put in a couple screws according to the instructions. So we've completed the step one process. We've got the screws in. Now they go in way deep in this thing. I don't know if you can see them there. It's like way down there. So just be careful, line them up carefully, and then use your Allen wrench to tighten it. But this is the end of step one, and we're ready to move on to step two. All right, step two is asking us basically, we just turn it upside down and we put in two more screws. We put in two here. We're gonna flip it over now and put two screws in on the other side. All right, so far we haven't used a rug, but it looks like we're gonna take the desktop out. So I'm gonna go look for a rug to put the desktop before we go on to steps 3, 4, and 5 here. So I'm gonna take, look for a rug, and because we don't want to scratch the top of the desk, so that's why we're just being extra cautious. Okay, we are on step 3. So it is using these arrows here. It's very important. So we have our two arrows pointing away from us, and then we have two holes here where we're gonna slide this down and then put the screws in those holes according right here, like to step number 3. So let's do that now. And I just want to mention, when you use your Allen wrench, not to over tighten, just make sure it's nice and snug. Okay, we're moving on to step number 4 here. We've got these additional parts on each side, and what you're going to do is you're going to notice that this one has 3 holes right here. 1, 2, 3 holes. All right, and you're gonna place it on the side here. And the way you line this up is that on the bottom of it, there's 4 holes. There's 1, 2, 3, so you're gonna line those up, because we're gonna eventually put the screws in there. But for now, it's just asking us in step number 4 to put in 2 screws on this side and 2 screws on that side before we move on to step 5. And by the way, which step 5 is we're gonna add those 4 screws on each side. I've kind of combined steps 4 and 5 together. I went ahead and put these screws in, and I'm gonna tighten them up. But before I tighten them up, I went ahead and set the other 4 in here at the bottom, because I want to make sure that this was aligned up really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these 2 screws, and then I'll tighten these 4 at the last, and then I'll go to the other side, and then we'll do the same on the other side of the desk. Step 6 is kind of interesting, because this desk comes with a crank to raise and lower it. So under step 6, if we follow this page, it'll be for someone that's right-handed that it can crank it with the right hand to go up and down. If you bought this and you're left-handed, you can turn to page 13 in the booklet, and it will show you how to install it on the left side for left-handers. So we're gonna install it for right-handed. So we're gonna follow the directions here. And again, when you're looking at the desk to make sure you're in the right position, you see that there's all these little holes, and those here they are right here. So you know that you're in the correct position. The part that we're gonna install now is right here, and it's gonna go in between this area here. So we're gonna slide this in and then put it in here, okay? So that's our next step, and then we'll tighten that down. All right, we've got this piece in place now. What I had to do is with this bar here, I had to put it inside, and I had to like wiggle it a little bit to make sure I got it. Once I got it into the correct hole inside, then you can see my holes for my screws line up perfectly. So if we go back to our book, step number 7 is installing those 4 screws. So that's what we're gonna do next before we move on to step number 8. We have reached step number 8, and it is to put this clip in here, and we're gonna put 2 screws in here. This is gonna hold our handle in place. But the important thing to remember here is it says don't screw it in all the way, just put it in loosely. We're gonna, after we put the handle on itself, then we will tighten it down. So that's a good little tip here from Ikea. Don't tighten it all the way in step number 8. When I look at the booklet now for instructions, really steps 9, 10, and 11, they kind of all go together here. So with installing this handle, that's what we're gonna do next. In steps number 10 and 11, gonna be really dealing with this handle here and putting it in through here. It's got to go all the way through the other side. Let's see. Okay, so let me work with that a little bit to get it in there, and I'll pull this back. Well, and then we'll line up the holes, put the screws in here, then our handle would be just about all set to go. So that is steps number 10 and step number 11. That's what we're going to now. So I'm going to back up the video just for a moment back to step number 9 here. I've got the handle inserted in correctly. You do have to wiggle this a bit to get it to work properly. Then the next piece that I'm going to be dealing with is right here. This is going to go in on this side, and we're going to tighten it up to complete our phase of getting in the handle. And then we'll, like I said, we'll put our 2 screws in here to secure the handle. And then of course our handle is going to swing over and then go right into here to lock. That's where we're at now. We have the handle in place now. Now these 2 screws that we had put in loosely, I'm going to tighten those up to finish up the handle installation. All right, we are approaching the end. We are going to move on to step number 12 in our instructions. And like I mentioned earlier, I was going to find a piece of carpet to put on the desk, but inside the box there was a large piece of cardboard, so I'm just using that. And now I'm going to put on the bottom of the desk and attach that. That's our next step, step number 12. Just to show you here in the booklet what step 12 looks like. You can see we have our desk here. Then this is what step 12 looks like. We got to get 4 large screws and secure the bottom. I've attached the bottom of the base here to the desk. Now the tricky part about this, as I just mentioned some tips, is this base is very heavy. So just be careful when you place it on here. It might slide off, so it's very heavy. If you need someone else to help you to hold it steady, do that. And then these screws, they're quite long, these 4 screws, and you can't really see deep down in there, so you gotta line those up. I did this screw first, and then I did this one, Then I did this one, then I did this, then this one last. And right now they're finger tight. So I'll get my Allen wrench and I'll tighten these up now before I actually take time to flip the desk over. And the desk itself weighs 57 pounds. So again, you might need someone else in the room to help you flip it over once you're done. After that step, it's gonna show you that there are some feet here that are attached. Now what I've done, there's 4 of them in each corner. So I'm going to tighten them up now so that hopefully, I don't have a level with me, but once you turn the desk over, you'll pretty much know if it's level or not. And then you can adjust the feet here to turn those to make sure you get a nice level desk. That's what we're gonna do now. Okay, our desk is complete from the top to the bottom. And it is called, I'm gonna call it the Segrare desk from Ikea. We do have our handle here. Now again, you take the handle here, you pull it out, and then you turn it to make it go up or down. And then you push it in, and then you can see up underneath here where it locks in, and then it locks in safely there. But this is the Ikea Segrare desk. Hope you enjoyed this little video about how to put it together. It's nice and sturdy. Thank you, Ikea. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.